Hello and welcome to Online U.S. History. In this video, you'll get a introduction to our course. Hello and welcome to Online U.S. History. My name is Joe Walker, or Mr. Walker, and I'll be your educator during this course throughout the year. In this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm going to give you a brief tour of our course page and walk you through how to access assignments, how to know what to expect each unit, and how to submit work. And then afterwards, we'll do a deep dive into our syllabus so you know what to expect for our course this trimester. First, about me, this is my 6th year teaching at Woodbury High School and my 10th year teaching overall. Before I worked at Woodbury High School, I worked at Eastridge High School for 3 years, and I'm actually a graduate from Park High School. So I've been at or taught at every school in our district. And before that, I also taught at Hardin for 1 year. Right now, I currently work at Woodbury, so if you are in the building, feel free to stop by whenever you're available if you have any questions for the course. And if you're not in the building, feel free to stop by or schedule an appointment to do so at your convenience. Hello, and welcome to Online U.S. History. My name is Joe Walker, or Mr. Walker, and I'll be your educator for this course throughout the trimester. Hello, and welcome to Online U.S. History. My name is Joe Walker, or Mr. Walker, and I'll be your teacher for the course throughout the year. In this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm going to give you a tour of our course page and give you directions how to access various resources and directions on how to submit work on our Schoology course page. And then we'll do a deep dive into our syllabus as well, so you know what to expect this trimester. Quickly about me, this is my 6th year teaching at Woodbury High School and my 10th year teaching overall. Before I taught at Woodbury High School, I actually taught at Eastridge High School for 3 years. And then way before that, in 2007, or from 2004 to 2007, I was actually a high school student at Park High School. So I have either experience working at or learning at all the major high schools in our school district. So it's safe to say that I have strong connections to the area and like being part of District 833. I have a master's in education and a specialization in online education. So I'm excited to really show off those skills this year in this course. This is a picture of myself and my wife, Kelsey. We were in London in this photo. We like to go for hikes, do things outside, cross country ski, run. And we have a tiny little dog named Millie, who is a Chihuahua Dachshund mix. Now, looking at our course page. So when you come to our course page, a couple things to be aware of. You should notice that it's got this standard District 833 layout where there's a blue current unit folder, a black completed units folder, and a white resources folder. This will be the norm throughout the trimester. On the right-hand side, you have a feed of upcoming assignments and recommended due dates and final due dates. And at the very top, you have announcements. At the beginning of each week, I'm going to post an announcement here that kind of gives you a brief introduction to what your unit's going to be about for the week and directions on what you're doing and when things are due. This is an old announcement, so don't be confused by it. One more thing to be aware of on this main page is where it says in the current folder, you have contact information. These are the 3 ways you can get a hold of me. There's an email. This is our school district email address. This is my Google account. If you ever want to share something with me on Google or contact me via Google, here you go, my apps account. And if you ever want to meet face-to-face, my Google Meet room, you click on this link and you enter in that code name, and we can set up a time to have a meeting. So this is like if we ever have to have contact or we have to talk to each other, check out this information here. All right, so we know where the announcements are. When you come to class, always check up here, very first thing, to see if there's any new announcements to be aware of at the very top of the page. All these announcements get cataloged into this Updates tab on your left-hand side. So you can click on that to see old messages if you'd like to. If you open up the current unit folder, and it's going to look a little bit different for you than it does for me. Right now, for you, you would only see the Unit 1 folder. These other folders will pop up as we get access to them. In this course, there'll be a new unit that pops up each week. So that's kind of the pacing. It's like a 5.5 to 6 week long course, and we have 5 units. So basically a unit for each week of our hybrid trimester schedule. And so right now you should only be able to see the Unit 1. Again, my screen looks a little bit different than yours. But after Unit 1 is over, Fast forward to October 26th, which is the beginning of our next week. Unit 2 will then open up, and you'll be able to access the assignments and the activities in that folder. For each of the units, it tells you what number it is, so the first, second, third. The focus of that unit, we begin looking at colonization and settlement in the Americas, and then the dates that the unit runs from. So Tuesday, October 20th to Sunday, October 25th. That's that time frame there. If we open up the Unit 1 folder, which you'll be able to see, you're going to find a resource folder at the top, several lessons. These are basically your assignments, and then the exam right here, the Unit 1 exam. And they'll be your exam for all of them at the bottom as well. So if we open up the resources folder, the best place to start, you're going to find 3 tools posted in here. The first is the schedule. So it says Unit 1 schedule, October 20th to the 25th. If you click on this, it brings you to this document here, and it gives you directions on what to do each day of the week. So we know it's week 1. This started on the 19th, which was yesterday. And for each day, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you are given the work you need to complete in the middle. So like, what should you do each day? So for like Tuesday, which is today, you go to this blue current course materials folder. You're opening and completing lesson number 1, or day 1 lesson. And right now you're watching the video that's linked to this lesson and doing the icebreaker activity. So that's what you're doing for today. And then on the right, the far right, says assignment due dates. Things that are in parentheses and italicized, that is the day you're recommended to complete the assignment. And then the blue due dates, anything that's in blue, is the final due date when things are submitted. With our online course, one of the benefits of taking an online class is that you can go at your own pace. So if you want to just blitz this and get it all done in like the first 2 days of the entire week, hey, more power to you. That's up to you. So you can ignore these due dates and just get everything done. There's 4 lessons and a quiz or an exam in this first unit. You can, in theory, get that all done in the first 2 days or whatever. You could also wait and get most of it done at the end of the week if you have a very busy schedule and your other classes are kind of front loaded in the week, or you have a choir or band concert or big sporting event and you're busy. You can always move these due dates around in the week and get them done different times. But I recommend you stick to the pacing. So like these italicized dates here, day 1 lesson, get it done on Tuesday, day 2 lesson, get it done on Wednesday. Those are the days that I recommend that you complete those assignments. And when the course is designed, it was designed with the expectation that you would complete these assignments on those days. So while everything is technically due at the end of the unit, which for this class, every unit ends at Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So like you have to get lesson 1, 2, 3, and the exam submitted by Sunday the 25th, for example. You could spread them out, and like you can complete lesson 1 on this day, lesson 2 on this day, and that way the workload is much more manageable and less stressful. So you have a lot of flexibility here. You have to get everything done by Sunday at midnight. You can get it done earlier if you'd like, or if you'd rather, you can follow the recommended pacing schedule that is here. Get this lesson done on this day, this lesson done this day, and make it far more manageable. As you complete each lesson, there's certain things you should be able to take away from it, and that's what these I can statements are. Lesson 1 here is just kind of like an icebreaker tour. So there's really no major content there. But Wednesday, if you look at Wednesday, you should be able to answer these I can statements after completing Wednesday's activities in the lesson number 2, or the day 2 lesson. Same goes for Thursday. When you complete the day 3 lesson, you should be able to answer these I can statements. Your unit exam, which is going to be a collection of short answer questions typically, are based on these I can statements. So if you complete the lesson and are able to answer these I can statements, you are going to have a lot of success on the unit exam, because this is basically just like a study guide for that test. If you can answer these I can statements, you're going to do well on the test. So that is kind of what the calendar schedule is. You get one of these for each of your units to kind of see what's due and what pace you recommended to go at, but you have the freedom to get it done when you'd like during the unit. So that's right there, the schedule. I just mentioned I can statements. So that brings us to our next item here, this link. If you were to click on it, it'd bring you to this document here. And I can statements. Oh, no, that's not the I can statements. This is the I can statement. Hello. For each lesson, you're getting content that should help you answer these I can statements. So, like, this is like the goal of the activity. Like, what are you trying to achieve by it? So, when you do Wednesday's activity, which is lesson number 2, you should be able to explain with specific evidence how geography influenced these different Native American groups. And as you go through each day, so Wednesday, you should also be able to answer this I can statement. Thursday, you should be able to answer these I can statements. If you can answer these, you're going to be successful on the exam. I recommend that you print this document out, or you go to File and you make a copy of it. And as you are doing the lessons, you then type in the answers to these I can questions here in the notes with examples and specific evidence, and turn this document into a study guide. That's kind of the point of this I can statement sheet. It's supposed to be a study guide for you in exam. So as you do each lesson and you reflect on what you learned, if you can answer the I can statements, you put the answers here. And that way, when you take the test, you can pull out this filled in study guide and you can use this tool on the unit exams, which are typically short answer questions. So, this is your study guide. I encourage you to use it. You don't submit it for any points, but it will help you be very successful on our summative exams. Okay, so if we go back to our course page, those are the resources. You have I can statements and a schedule for each unit. The parking lot's a discussion board. If you have any questions about an assignment or if you're not sure what to do, you can go here and you can leave a post and you can get feedback from your peers or from me. Typically, students just contact me via email or Schoology, but that's an option for you right there. And then we now can go look at the lessons. So after looking at those resources, the I can statement study guide and the schedule, you have your lessons. The day you're supposed to complete each lesson is posted here. Right now there's a typo. This is going to say 1020 right here. It'll say 1021, 1022, and then 1023. Right now it's set up for trimester 1.1 dates. That'll be changed here in a bit. But if you look at this, it'll say like the day you're supposed to complete it. And again, the date here is incorrect for this example. It gives you the name of the lesson, day 1, and it gives you an idea what you're learning about. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 lessons in unit 1. If you were to click on this first lesson, so day 1 lesson, it would bring you to this sucker right here. And this is like your assignments. When you do assignments in this class, typically you are completing a Google Doc or a Google slide. So you'll click on that link, the assignment itself, you'll open up the document, and then on the document, you will find the directions for what you need to do. You'll put the answers for what you need to submit, and you'll submit this document when you're done. All this is usually explained in the directions. So this is the day you should do it, 1020. It's worth 10 formative points. What you're doing and why you're doing it is explained right here at the beginning of each lesson. Typically, you'll be completing some type of standard or benchmark for U.S. history. So you can complete that right here. They'll tell you what it is when it's relevant. The materials that you need for the assignment are listed here. When it says assignment template, that means like this document that you're on. So like you're on the lesson 1 assignment template right now. And then you just read the directions, watch the videos or follow the links and complete what it tells you to do. And whenever you have to create something or build something, you'll build it right on this document itself. So like in part 3, it says complete the icebreaker activity. It tells you to scroll down to the bottom, scroll down for part 3. Here's the icebreaker activity. And you would read these directions and you would complete the icebreaker activity on this document here. You would click on this stuff and you would type your answer into the red text. In this class, when you see things that are in a red font or red text, like record your name and post response here, that's your cue that something needs to be written there. That's where you need to answer a question. So when you see red, that means you should be answering the question there. This is just like a nice little get to know you activity, so nothing too stressful here. But that's the first assignment. Once you've completed the assignment, you're ready to submit it. The directions for how you submit the assignments are listed right here at the bottom of the directions. It'll tell you what it's worth, and it'll tell you 2 dates. It'll give you one date that's like the recommended date for completing it. So it's recommended that you complete this icebreaker activity on Tuesday the 20th. But then it also lists for you the date that it has to be posted. This has to be submitted if you want to earn full credit by the 25th by 11:59 p.m. Sunday. So don't let the dates confuse you. Make sure you just read the directions. And just about every assignment is going to be like this. You are on Schoology, you click on it, It brings you to the assignment page. You open up My Document, and you just write your answers on the document, and the directions are there for you. The links are there for you. Everything you need is there for you, and you submit it that way. Um, yeah, so that's kind of like the gist of most of the things. Once you complete lessons 1, 2, 3, and 4, you'll be able to access our unit exam. And the unit exams are timed, and they're typically short answer questions. You'll be given usually about 5 minutes, or sorry, usually about 10 minutes per short answer question. And those questions that are on the short answer test, or the Unit 1 exam, or all the exams, are basically the same questions that are in the I can statement. So the questions that you're answering here are going to be very similar, if not identical, to the questions that are in the unit exams. So this is why it's your study guide, and you're encouraged to complete it as you go through the lessons. You're not going to be able to access the unit exam until you complete all the lessons. So don't be surprised by this. If so first you have to complete lesson number 1. Once you've completed lesson number 1, you then gain access to lessons number 2, then number 3, and then number 4. Then you take the test. You can't just skip all this and go right to the test and not do any of the lessons. So to gain access to one lesson and then eventually the test, you got to complete them in chronological order from first to last. So when you start, you're only going to have access to this day 1 lesson. Then you'll have access to the day 2 lesson, day 3 lesson, day 4 lesson, and so on. So you got to complete them in order. You have to submit to get access to the next one. If you have questions about that, please contact me. It might be confusing for some of you that aren't used to that with your courses. We also have a resources folder right here. Inside this folder is our syllabus, as well as the course textbook. You can check out a textbook from the Media Center and recommend that. But if you'd rather just have a digital copy, you could just click on these. You have access to a digital copy. And then this brings us to our last item, which we're going to talk about, which is the course syllabus, which is right here. All right, so for the last part of this introductory video to online U.S. history, we're going to do a brief run through of the course syllabus. You can access this or a copy of this in the white resource folder on the Schoology page. And I'm not going to go through all the details because you can read it at your own pace. Big things, if you ever need to get a hold of me and you want to schedule a virtual meeting or talk on the phone, my office hours are from 1:35 to 2:30. It says AM. That is not true. It'd be PM. PM. And that's from Monday through Thursday. And then Friday on flex days, typically I'm available from 10 to 10:45 a.m. to answer any online questions. So I will be available no matter what at those times. Nothing special needs to be set up. You can just contact me. I'll answer. If you need to get hold of me at different times, that's fine too. You should contact me via my email or my Google Apps account, or you can call me at my school number right here, and I'll get back to you as well at that time. With this course, a couple things to be aware of. You need to be present with an online class. You're expected to sign in to the class each day. Be aware that I am given diagnostic information of Schoology. I know who signs in when, how long they're signed in, how often they're signed in. You're expected to sign in at least once a day to be successful in this class. You need to be engaged. You have a lot of autonomy in this online course to be able to kind of choose the pace you want to go at. But if you need help or assistance, you should reach out. I'm here to help you. And if you have questions, you should try and get a hold of me, and I can help you as best I can. That kind of goes along with the be a communicator. If you're feeling overwhelmed, let me know. In particular, the first week of our course is the busiest. We really jump into the deep end. So our first week is probably the hardest out of all the weeks. Just the volume of stuff we need to do. We got one less day because we lost Monday. So don't be freaked out by the first week. It is the hardest as far as workload, and it becomes much more manageable from there. But if you do feel like you're overwhelmed or stressed, please reach out to me ASAP. If you reach out right away, I can help you kind of ease the stress or give you some tips or make some necessary accommodations. But if you don't reach out till it's too late, then there's less that I can do to help you. And please be flexible with me. This is still a relatively new thing for me, being an online teacher, and this course is still being developed. So if things are kind of funky, or if you're not sure about something, or if it's confusing, let me know. And just know that I'm kind of learning along the way with you as well. The pacing for our course, this is kind of review, but it's good to kind of reiterate it. This course has 5 units of study. The first 4 units are going to last 1 week, so a Monday to Sunday night. And the last unit's going to be about like a week and a half. It could be a full week and then a little bit extra. Each of these units is going to have 2 to 4 lessons in them that are formative, and then there'll be some type of like summative activity. For 4 of the units, there's going to be an exam based on short answer questions for the most part, and one of the units is going to have a project where you have to create something in it. Here's our grading scale. Nothing crazy here. It's pretty much the standard thing. To earn credit for the course, and you need credit for U.S. History A, you need to get at least 60%. You should definitely be shooting for something much higher than that, but that is the minimum. Because this is an online course, all summative exams that are tests will consist of short answer questions. There are some matching, but like you could just Google multiple choice questions. So the short answer component is really important. So don't be surprised by that. This is why you're given an I can statement study guide that links up with those short answer questions. So if you're filling that in as you go through each of the units or each of the lessons, you should have a lot of success on the unit exams. And you'll only be able to access the unit exam after you've completed and submitted all the lessons in that unit. So we have 4 lessons in our first unit. The first 3 you need to complete and submit. The 4th lesson you just need to watch a video, and then you'll be able to take the test. These are our units: unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is when each of them begins or when they open up, and how long they last for until work is due. So the final due date for them. Here's a list of the times when the courses open up. So like our current unit opened today at 8:30 a.m., the 20th. And this is a list of all the end dates for each unit. So like unit 1 is going to end Sunday the 25th at 11:59 p.m. Typically they end Sundays at 11:59 p.m. with the exception of unit 5. The lessons and content for each unit are designed to be self-paced, so there's recommended pacing posted for you in the calendar and also in each of the directions. But if you want to work ahead or if you need to kind of slow down a little bit and maybe do more of it at the end of the week, that's up to you. It's your call. And then at the very least, for attendance purposes, you need to submit at least one assignment to be marked present for this class for each week. So if you don't submit anything throughout the week, you don't get attendance for it, and that becomes an issue with truancy in the office. So you need to at least submit one thing to be marked present for the week. I mean, this should not be an issue because you need to submit far more if you're hoping to pass the class. And this goes over the attendance rate there. Already talked about course credit, grading policies. We looked at the rubric up there for each letter grade. Note that there's 2 grading categories: formative assessments and summative assessments. They are weighted categories. Formative assessments will be worth about 40% of your grade, and the unit exams and the summative assessments will be worth 60%, so they're worth more. You are expected to submit your work at the time and date indicated on Schoology, or at least by the end of the week. So it needs to be submitted by the end of each unit's week. If assignment is submitted late, any late work that is submitted will be deducted 50% of its points. So it's also educator discretion. If there's something going on and it's communicated, and there's reason why it was submitted late, not a big deal. But if work is just late because it wasn't done on time, it'll be only worth 50% of the credit that's available. And that's for formative work. And then anything that's a missing assignment, we marked as a 0. And I will follow up with you throughout the trimester if you have missing assignments that begin to accumulate. And then academic honesty: any assignment that is caught for cheating or plagiarism or flagrant copying of a student that took the class earlier or is taking the class now, and the work is not authentic, that assignment will earn 0 points, and there will not be a chance to resubmit it. That is on par with District 833 academic policy. So don't copy, do your own work. You're going to be just fine. You're going to crush these unit exams, and you're going to do very well in the class. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Otherwise, this is a brief run through of the course. To finish lesson number 1, you should move on to part 3 of this activity and complete the icebreaker assignment. All right, have a great day.